Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jen and I am one of the librarians with Santa Cruz Public Libraries, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial on potato printing. Potato printing is exactly what it sounds like, using a potato to make cool prints, and you can do this with ink or with paint. You can do it on paper or fabric depending on what kind of ink or paint you have. It's super simple, it's good for adults if you're looking to spruce up maybe a boring pillowcase or send out some nice cards to people. Great for kids because if you have waterproof paint you can do a easy cleanup, and most people have a potato at home. You don't need a lot of expensive supplies. Most people have knives or some sort of cutting implement. If you do this with kids, I recommend any grown-up does the actual cutting part because, you know, you're dealing with a sharp implement and you don't want anyone to get hurt. Normally, I run an adult arts and crafts workshop out of the Scotts Valley branch every first Saturday of the month. But right now, obviously, we're sheltering in place. I'm coming to you from my patio outside my house, so hopefully this is something we can get to as a group in the future, but for now you can go ahead and try it on your own, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so to do this craft, you only need a couple of items. You need a potato, ink or paint. I am using block printing ink because that's what I have at home. If you have paint at home, use that. Acrylic is probably better than oil. Some sort of canvas or paper. I also have a bag off to the side that I'm going to use to demonstrate what it looks like to do it on canvas. You need some sort of cutting implement. I have an X-Acto knife here, and pen is absolutely optional. You can freehand your potato, or you can draw a design on it and then carve it. That's totally up to you. Let's begin. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way. Also, you want to make sure you have a space to put your ink on when you're ready to do that. I have a bench hook, which is great for block printing, which is what I normally do, but it also works as a surface. You can use a paper plate or a regular plate. Whatever you have available is perfect. So we are going to start with knife and potato. So what you're going to want to do is cut as evenly as possible through your potato. You want it to be fairly flat. So right now it looks like I'm making curly fries, but I promise this is supposed to be a flat, there we go, flat object. You can set the other half off to the side. If you want to cut it clean in half, you can make two different stamps. I'm only going to do one. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie. I'm just going to draw a design on it. And I think, it's a juicy potato, I think I'm going to go with a heart. And because we could all use a little more love these days, right? Alright, here's my heart. It's kind of hard to see, especially with so much sunlight. There you go, a little bit of shade. You're going to be very careful, and you're just going to start carving. Just You want to make a fairly deep cut, maybe 1/4 of an inch, because then you're going to go around the edges to pop it out. This is my first time making a craft video, so bear with me. Alright, I made my regular incisions, and now I'm just going to go around the edge and try to carve around. Well, it's sort of a delicate process because you don't want to cut all the way through the part that's supposed to be the stamp. You just want to be very aware of where the knife, where the blade is, where your fingers are, and you should, if I did it right, come out. You may have to go around again just to loosen all the little things up. Yeah, I think that's it. Ta-da! So now you have a positive and a negative. You could totally use this if you wanted to make negative stamps. I'm just going to use the positive and clean it up a little bit because that's just the kind of person that I am. But you see we have a very nice little heart stamp. I am going to recap my blade because safety first. I'll wash it off later. I'm going to take my ink. You don't need a lot, especially with this small of a stamp. My ink is precious, so I'm not going to use a whole lot of it. There you go. I used no more than a pinky's amount. Bring my paper over. kind of mush the paint around a little, or the ink around rather. You don't want too much on it. That's way too much. You can see there's not a whole lot on it, just enough to want to transfer it to the paper. You can play around with how much you're actually using. And it's not super flat in profile, so I'm gonna kind of rock it around a little bit. You can see. There you go. My wonky little black heart. It's not perfect, but you know, it's a potato, so they're much better for eating than they are for crafting. You can make cards for friends and family if you want. Oh, that one got a little messy. So if you have potatoes that you don't mind wasting, go ahead and give this a try. But I thought that it would be nice to get a little extra craftiness out there. It can be soothing, it can be very cathartic, especially to cut something out. You can use the other side of your potato. You can make more intricate cuts if you want, and maybe dry it out on a paper towel a little bit. I think the moisture of the potato is probably interfering with the ink, especially because it's water-soluble ink. All right, and now I have this bag, and I also have black fabric paint, courtesy of a good friend of mine. I'm just going to put a little tiny glob of this onto my very fancy new stamp and design this bag. Let's see if this works. Ta-da! It's a heart. Like I said, this is fabric paint, so it's specifically for things like canvas and cotton. If you have a water-soluble paint at home, don't try it on fabric unless you plan on never washing that object again, because you know, you put it in the washing machine, it will just wash away. Do a little trio of hearts here, and you don't have to push super hard, but you do want to be firm about it. You want to make sure that the paint actually transfers to what you're printing on. Just add a little bit more there, and there you go. That's what it is. It's a potato that you cut and then you make prints. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. Ooh, little heart. If you liked this video, thank you for hanging in there with me. I hope you're able to try it at home. I hope you are taking care of yourself and your families and each other. I know I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. I hope that you're doing the same. We'll probably post a couple more of these with the supplies that we have at home. So take care, and I hope to see you all soon in person. Bye!